Hellbound. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Classic first-person shooter style game, like the good old days. The good old days, guys, the good old days. An action game focused on speed, gore, guns, and metal music. Inspired by the 90s classics. Hooray for the 90s, guys! But with modern visuals and audio. Yes, guys, we're going back to the 90s apparently for this game. The developers have said that this is a 90s style shooter, and they even put a disclaimer up warning you millennials that you might find it a little bit too hard because there's no X-ray vision in it, guys. Yeah. But before we get into all the let's have a quick look at the graphical options, guys. You get a few bits and blobs of things that you can change. The main thing is, guys, you get a FOV slider, so you can adjust that, and also it has auto run in the options, so that's great. As all 90s games had, it was just we don't want to sprint. No, you sprint and then crouch and slide on your ass. No, we don't want any of that. This is a thoroughbred 90s shooter, guys. So let's see, is it any good? Well, the story is, it doesn't really have one. I didn't even care. I don't know. I don't know the story. I don't give a f***. I don't give a f***. When you're playing a 90s shooter, all you want is a big f***ing gun. Who gives the f***? Give it a big f***ing gun. The big f***ing gun. A big pile of elephant dung. Who gives the f***? Give it a big f***ing gun. The big... Yeah, sorry about that. Does it have a big f***ing gun? Well, it has a few guns. Let's quickly go through the guns, guys. Let's go through the guns. You have fists. I know it's not a gun, but you have fists. You have a club. You have your base kind of machine gun, I guess, if you like. It can fire quite quickly. It's quite a decent gun, this, actually. I mean, it's your kind of last resort kind of weapon, but it can take down a lot of, and all of the enemies essentially with 5 or 6, 7, 8 shots. So it's a pretty decent weapon. But then you have the triple barreled shotgun, guys. Now this is a big fucking gun. This is a really good gun. This can just gib enemies from point blank range, just boom. You then have the machine gun, which is kind of like the super nail gun. It's a great gun. It is a rapid rate of fire, does a shit ton of damage, and is probably the most powerful weapon in the game. But I just prefer the shotgun because it's a big fucking gun. The big fucking gun. Max, stop doing that. You then have your staple of 90s shooters, the rocket launcher, which doesn't sound that good, guys. It does a lot of splash damage. It'll take out anybody in pretty much one shot. And that's all. That's it, guys. That's all the weapons you get. Now, yeah, that's kind of sticking to the formula of 90s shooters, which is a bit of a shame. Worse still, guys, these weapons have an alternate fire, which... Why? Why does it have an alternate fire? I mean, you're talking iron sights, guys, in a 90s shooter. I'm sorry, you've just failed the 90s shooter test by giving these fucking guns iron sights. The whole point of a 90s shooter is you fire from the hip whilst in midair doing triple back fucking somersaults after a reverse rocket jump, guys. But anyway, let's have a look at the monsters. I'm sure there's plenty of monsters to shoot. Well, you have these humanoids who have a bat, the big bat, guys. You have the humanoids with the big bat. You have the humanoids with the gun, the basic gun. You have the humanoids with the big shotgun. 3 monsters in one there, guys. That's a bit poor. But then you have this chargy clawy thing, which is probably the hardest enemy in the game because they are so fast, and I never quite got round to judging their leap from the right distance. You can't stop them point blank with a shotgun in the face if you're lucky enough or skillful enough, whatever, to actually hit it. I prefer leaping out of the way and then hitting it as it's trying to turn around. But these can be very, very hard to kill, and they can wreck you in seconds. If they get into your face, they'll probably kill you in probably 1 second flat. So obviously, unless you're playing it on like the pissy easy levels, which I'm sure no one will, unless you've got a controller. Mac, that was uncalled for. But true. You then have these kind of horned imps. They're like, they reminded me of the imps from Doom. They fire the fireball, they just kind of stand around. They don't move like imps, they just kind of stand there. They're very easy to take out and very easy to avoid, unless there's like 10 of them raining hellfire down on you, which then it can be a little bit of a problem. And guys, oh, and I forgot to mention, guys, you also have the humanoids with machine guns and rocket launchers. So, yeah, there's not many enemies in this either, which is a fucking shame. So, hopefully, guys, hopefully the game can redeem itself with a very long campaign. Or maybe 3 campaigns like 90's shooters used to have. This only has 1 campaign, guys. And I beat it in 2 hours. Oh, shit. But it does have survival mode with a leaderboard that's probably going to get hacked by Russians. You can't see it. Yes, it has survival mode with 4 or 5 maps, guys, with a leaderboard, which didn't interest me in the slightest. I don't play 90s shooters to have waves of enemy just rush at me while I circle straight round in a circle. Well, I do, but I prefer to do it inside of a level that's part of a very complex map. So, you get about 6 levels in the campaign, and this is what I found, guys. This is what I'm going to report to you here. I found most of the levels good. Some of the level design is really good on some of the levels. It follows the formula of the yellow key, the red key, and the green key, so you have to find them keys to open the doors, which is a nice touch from the Doom days. And I did enjoy playing this game, but it was all over just as I was really, really getting into it. And the difficulty levels is the thing I want to talk about. I mean, I didn't try easy because why would you? I played straight through the game on medium and found it a breeze, pretty much, just easy, no problem at all. I then tried it on old school, and that is the hard difficulty, and then it has a nightmare that you unlock after that. Now, again, I was able to get through the game. I haven't finished it yet on old school, but I'm going to do it. I can tell I'm flying through it. But this is the thing that I want to mention. It is much more fun on medium level than it is on old school level. And the reason is because the damage you take on old school level is so extreme that you constantly have to keep topping your health up and your armor up. And you do that by gibbing the bodies with preferably the club to save ammo. So you club the bodies on the ground and you've got a chance to drop armor or health off them to top yourself back up before you engage the next trap, if you like, of enemies. And I found this stop-start gameplay just so un-90s. Now, obviously, if you're some kind of ninja warrior, you can probably fly through the game on old school without having to give bodies, but I wasn't. So I went back onto medium and had way more fun, just flying through, not giving a shit whether your health's low or not. You can kind of give the odd body if you need it, but generally speaking, you can hold your own against them, constantly moving in games like this. Obviously, it's a twitch shooter. You don't ever stand still in a games like this. You can strafe jump as well, that little bit of extra speed if you like. But I really enjoyed the game. I wanted more of it. Now, it's only a tenner, guys, this game. I think it's $15, which is going to work out about, I don't know, £11-12. It's not a lot of money. It's very enjoyable, but it's only 2 hours long, you know. Plus, you've got the survival mode, if you like, which can give you another couple of hours if you're into that kind of thing. I'm just not. So you probably get about 4 hours out of it. If you want to replay it on a higher difficulty, you know, you probably add another 2.5 hours to it. There's a boss fight, which is just easy. You just circle straight from to death. You know, there's plenty of health and ammo drops off the enemies. Just keep hitting them a bit as well as you shooting the boss. It wasn't really a challenge on the medium level. I haven't come to the boss yet on the hard, but I'm almost there. So it's kind of like good. Yeah, it's a good game. It's very, very good on the gunplay. The movement's absolutely brilliant. The jumping's brilliant. The sounds is good. The music, it's got that heavy rock track that you're probably going to want in a game like this. So it ticks all of them boxes. It scratches that 90s itch. It's just a shame it's so damn short. And it's a shame there's just not a lot of different enemies. And I would have liked a little few more weapons. Now, I'm going to say something controversial that all these old school gamers like myself are probably going to cry over. But I'm going to say it anyway because, you know, I'm Mac. I would have liked to have seen some elements of today's games in this, like elements that are really good. And the one that I'm going to mention is dash. I absolutely love dash in games. It's just a shame it hadn't been invented in the 90s, because I'm sure if it had, they would have put it in the games, because it really is good in games like this. I'm thinking Rage 2. I absolutely loved the dash in Rage 2. It was fantastic. It was also in Doom Eternal, I believe, which was again great. I loved the little dash out of the way, and when these monsters were charging at us and leaping at me face, just having that little dash to dash out the way, turn and blow his brains out, would have been so damn satisfying. So yeah, I would have liked that. I would have liked a little dash in there, but I know that's not like old school, but I don't care, you know. At the end of the day, I'm here to have fun, and that would have made it more fun for me. But I'm not going to knock marks off for it not having dash, because, you know, it is what it says on the tin. It's a 90s shooter. There is a bit of irony to 90s shooters. The best 90s shooters weren't single player games. The best 90s shooters were actually online in multiplayer. I mean, this is like your Duke Nukems, this is like your Doom. I never played Quake 1, 2 or 3 past half an hour in single player. Why would you? They were absolute garbage at single player. What you played Quake for was your multiplayer, your capture the flag, your jailbreaks, your deathmatch, your rocket arenas. That's why you played Quake 1 and Quake 2 especially. They were just absolutely sublime at all the multiplayer side of things. Single player, it always reminds me of Doom and Duke Nukem. They were the two main single player games like this. So, and then this is like them. It does what it says on the tin. It is a 90s shooter. It feels like a 90s shooter, and it plays like a 90s shooter. It's just a shame it's a damn short, but I guess it's at a cheap price. So there you go, guys. That's Hellbound. Disappointing, but hell of a fun at the same time, and I do enjoy the game. I'm thumbing it up, but it's just by the skin of its knickknacks.
I'm the best at what I do, and what I do is kill motherfuckers.